It's time for Dixie State University Athletics on Radio Dixie 91.3 KXDS Santa Clara. DSU Athletics on Radio Dixie 91.3 is brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln, your neighborhood Ford dealer. We hear you. And now, it's time for DSU Athletics.
Hello and welcome inside Burns Arena. Good evening, everyone. Welcome inside and welcome you to women's basketball game for Dixie State University taking on the Skyhawks of Fort Lewis, the visiting team. Kylie Young alongside with me. This is Drayson Ball bringing you today's game. Going to get things started off as you see on your screen there. Introducing the starting lineups. We'll start first with the designated visiting team, the Skyhawks. Not designated because it obviously is Burns Arena, but we'll start with the Skyhawks of Fort Lewis, and then we'll send it over to Kylie Young to do the starters for the hometown Trailblazers. For the Skyhawks, starting out on the front line, number 13, Kayla Herrera. Number 14, Caitlin Romero, alongside number 24, Cindy Candelaria. Number 31, Alyssa Yaki, and number 32, Jordan Carter, rounding out the starting five for the Skyhawks of Fort Lewis. Now over to Kylie Young for the starters, the Dixie State Trailblazers.
Our starters for the Trailblazers, number 3, Mariah Martin, the 5'7" sophomore guard. Number 5, Lisa Van Kampen, the 6'1" senior forward. Number 11, Kesley Stevenson, the 5'11" sophomore guard. Number 21, Morgan Myers, the 5'7" sophomore guard. And number 23, leading the way for the Trailblazers, Allie Franks, the 5'10" junior guard.
That is your starting lineups presented to you today by Lonnie Boys Barbecue. Once again, glad you joined us. Welcome inside Burns Arena. Women's basketball hosting Fort Lewis University. The Skyhawks come into tonight's game 8-11 overall on the season, 4-9 in the RMAC. Head coach is Jason Flores in his 7th season with Fort Lewis. Trailblazers come into today's matchup 10-7 overall and 6-7 in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Coming off a win last Saturday over Western Colorado, a 57-50 final in that matchup, and we'll look to do the same tonight against the Skyhawks of Fort Lewis. Critical home stretch for the Trailblazers, finishing the last 9 games, 7 of which will be here on this floor in Burns Arena. Kylie, wanted to get your quick hitter thoughts just before tip-off. Obviously, Skyhawks come in with not a great record, but certainly a team capable of coming in here and getting a victory. What do the Trailblazers need to do tonight in order to stave off the Skyhawks and come out victorious?
Well, the Skyhawks are known for their defense. They've got Yaki, who last week was the defensive player of the week. So they've got to take care of the ball because they'll come in, they'll steal it from you. They're strong off the boards. That's a big start tonight is Trailblazers off the glass. They've got to handle the ball. Certainly a great defensive team, like you mentioned, allowing just 59 points per game is the Skyhawks, and we are ready to go. The tip is controlled by the Skyhawks in the hands of Caitlin Romero. Dribble handoff with Herrera on the angle right. She picks up her dribble now over to Candelaria, top of the key. Setting up the offense, Yo-Yo's now dribble handoff with Romero. She brings it back out, setting up the offense for the Skyhawks. Over to Candelaria on the angle right. She dribbles, cut off, ball is tipped out loose, nearly stolen by Morgan Myers. She tips it out of bounds. Good defensive play for Morgan Myers. She's got her hand on that, kind of just tipped it out of bounds. 7 seconds on the shot clock for the Skyhawks. Herrera to enter. Can't find anybody. Now gets it in to Yaki. Back to Herrera. Three-pointer is up and good. And that's what happens when you leave that Myers wide open on that left side. She's going to take the shot, and you gave her way too much space, and it was easily to knock it down. So 3 points already in for Kayla Herrera, 29% three-point shooter on the season as Morgan Myers misses an easy layup on the other end. Rebound out to the Skyhawks. In the hands of Caitlin Romero across the timeline, angle right. She gives it to Carter, top of the key. She'll penetrate. 15-foot jumper is no good. Too strong off the back of the iron. Rebound to Allie Franks. Quickly to Mariah Martin in up court. She's got 3 defenders on her. Now she'll pull it back out. Kicks it to Allie Franks. Her three-pointer. She'll shoot it. No good. Short. Rebound to the Skyhawks.
controlled in the hands of Kayla Herrera. She'll dribble handoff to the angle right to Romero. Now back out to Candelaria. Entry pass into Carter. She fakes right, goes left, shoots over her shoulder. No good. Rebound, though, grabbed by Romero. Kick out now to Candelaria. Her three-pointer, bang.
And you can't give them these second chance points. They're number 3 in the conference in offensive rebounds, and they can easily capitalize on those.
Skyhawks start out with 2 3-pointers to begin the evening. One from Kayla Herrera, the other from Sydney Candelaria. They lead at 6-0. 8 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Trailblazers inbounded into the hand of Mariah Martin. She gets a screen from Lisa Van Kampen, goes all the way to the basket. Left-hand layup is up and no good off the front of the iron. That one was in and out. Rebound to Fort Lewis in the hands of Alyssa Yockey. She pulls it out, kicks to Candelaria. She'll try another three. No good this time. Off the back of the iron, rebound to Van Kampen. She gives to Mariah Martin. Quickly up court to Kesley Stevenson. Stevenson now kicks back to Martin. She'll look to penetrate, gives back to Van Kampen. She'll try a three. No good off to the left-hand side. Rebound to Candelaria. Quick pace to this one as we go up and down. Candelaria looks to penetrate. Now she'll kick to Romero. Romero's try the three. No good. Rebound to the Skyhawks.
But a good look there, and she was given all the space in the world. Again, they've got to defend behind the arc.
Romero gives to Herrera. She finds Carter on the low block trying to work on Van Kampen. She gets a bump into her, gets some space, and she lays that one up and in.
And again, second chance points right there.
5 second chance points so far for the Skyhawks. They lead at 8-0. 8-0 start for Fort Lewis. Ball in the hands of Lisa Van Kampen, the left junction. She fakes left, goes right, gives to Kessie Stevenson. Now back to Morgan Myers. She'll run pick and roll with Van Kampen. She'll penetrate, get all the way to the bucket. Kick out to Mariah Martin. Ball is loose, picked up by the Skyhawks, and a foul. Mariah Martin went to get that one off the ground, picked it up a little bit too late, and ran into, looked like that was Alyssa Yockey there, and she'll commit the foul, her first.
And you have to be careful with the Skyhawks. They're number 1 in the conference with steals, and you can see that here. They're really handsy, trying to get in the way, and you can see that on that as they get the steal and then the foul's committed.
9.8 steals per game for the Skyhawks. Very, very good defensive team, like you mentioned, offensively so far, starting out on an 8-0 run, 6:45 remaining in the first. Ball in the hands of Alyssa Yockey. She gives to Fortner. Fortner back into Valencia, just into the game, her and Fortner. Over on the left side is Yockey, now back into Candelaria. She fakes a 15-foot jumper. She'll spin to her left. No good, but a foul is called. Looks like they're going to get, that's number 5. That's going to be Lisa Van Kampen, her first. Are they going to give that a shooting foul? Looks like they will give a shooting foul. So a couple quick early fouls on the Trailblazers, one on Mariah Martin and the other on Lisa Van Kampen.
And a very different start than you would have expected from both these teams. Dixie State's known as the offensive team. They scored over 100. Their season high in points was 107. I mean, they get their offense going, and on the other end, this is a strong defensive team, but it's kind of opposite here to start.
Sydney Candelaria makes both free throws, and the Skyhawks now lead at 10-0. London Pavlica now checks into the game for the Trailblazers. Ball in the hands of Van Kampen. Now to Pavlica on the angle right. Pavlica fakes right, goes left, gets all the way to the basket. She'll try a layup, no good. Blocked by Herrera. That was number 30. Valencia. Three-pointer on the other end by Herrera is no good. Rebound to London Pavlica. She'll give to Mariah Martin. Quickly into the front court. Stolen away nearly by Yockey. Ball controlled now by Mariah Martin. She'll set up the offense for the Trailblazers, needing a bucket. Mariah Martin, two-man game with London Pavlica on the left junction. She'll give to Mariah Martin on the angle right. Angle left, Mariah Martin penetrates, gets into the key, no good. Her shot, 15-footer, no good. Rebound of the Skyhawks in the hands of Valencia. She'll slowly dribble it across the timeline, calling for a screen. She'll now dribble the angle right, gives to Candelaria. Now into Fortner. She'll take a 20-foot jumper, no good. Too strong off the back of the iron. Rebound to London Pavlica. Pavlica quickly into the front court now. Dribble handoff with Lisa Van Kampen. She'll penetrate. Ball is loose, tipped out of bounds. Who are they going to mark it off of? Going to say off of the Skyhawks. Trailblazers will maintain possession. New shot clock on that one. They reset the shot clock to 30. Certainly no possession was given to the Skyhawks, but they're going to leave it.
Dixie State definitely will capitalize, hopefully, here on that.
Now they blow the whistle. That's what they're going to be looking at. going to be looking at the shot clock. Ball was tipped, but certainly not gained possession. Shot clock should not have reset there, and the official's going to come back over and assess the shot clock. 10-0 start for the Skyhawks. 5:11 remaining. Now they reset the shot clock to 21. The Trailblazers will inbound it. Mariah Martina underneath her own basket. Kicks out to Van Kampen, top of the key. Over to the angle left of Pavlica, now back to Mariah Martine. Martine looks to penetrate, cut off. Gives to Pavlica. Pavlica over. Now in the hands of Kesley Stevens. She fakes a three, gives to Van Kampen in the right corner. She'll dribble, penetrate baseline. Lost it. Ball is stolen by Herrera. She grabs it, and she'll bring it across the timeline, setting up the Skyhawks offense.
That's 2 turnovers now on the Trailblazers.
Couple of steals early on for the Skyhawks. Now they give it down into low to Yaki. That one is too strong. Good defense there by Lisa Van Kampen, and the Trailblazers maintain possession. Ball in the hands of Mariah Martine. She gets all the way to the basket, lays it up and in. Nice move by Mariah Martine to put the Trailblazers on the board.
Martine able to find that open lane and get the layup. Much needed basket for the Trailblazers.
They end the 10-0 run. Now 10-2. 4 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the first. Ball is given to Fortner. Low block. She'll fake left. Goes right. No good. Good defense again by Lisa Van Kampen. She grabs the rebound and hands off to Pavlik, who brings it across the timeline. She fakes right, goes left, gets all the way to the basket. Her layup is up and good. Good move there by London Pavlik, faking right, going left, and getting all the way to the basket.
Nothing went almost 6 feet in the air before it fell through the hoop.
Very crafty finish by London Pavlik, as she's unbelievably athletic, as Kesley Stevenson's playing well on the defensive end. She forces a loose ball now. Ball in the hands of, that's number 23. Begay just checked into the ball game. Her three's no good. Fast break attempt. Allie Franks kicks out of London Pavlica and drills a three. Now, London Pavlica with back-to-back buckets, and quickly a 7-0 run for the Trailblazers.
Much needed comeback right there, as you see. They finally getting the tempo going and able to capitalize not only on the offensive end, but on the defensive end. Getting tough off the glass and restricting their second chance opportunities.
Certainly good run for the Trailblazers. We'll go under 5 media timeout, 60 seconds, and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he'd find his way back home. But it's kind of cute.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Trailblazers trail this one 10-7 early on, 3.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter, but a 7-0 run by the Trailblazers has cut the deficit to just 3. The Skyhawks will enter the ball from underneath their own, from underneath the Trailblazers basket. They will be going, for you TV and internet viewers, right to left on your screen. They are wearing the navy blue uniforms with white trim. Trailblazers going left to right on your screen in the white uniforms, no trim. All in the hands of the Skyhawks. Herrera lost it out of bounds. They say it's last touched by London Pavlica. Skyhawks will maintain possession.
But great spark off the bench for Trailblazers and Pavlica. Not only offense, she's had 5 points to lead this team so far, but you see on that trap, getting very aggressive on the defensive end as well.
Herrera penetrates. She gets into the lane. Her 5-foot floater is no good. London Pavlica grabs the rebound. She's made a difference, like you mentioned, off the bench. She gives to Ryan Martine. Martine gets all the way to the basket. Foul is called before the shot. Looks like they're going to get, that's going to be on number 12. Morning Rose Toby just checked into the ball game. Her first foul, the first foul called on the Skyhawks. Ryan Martine to enter. Long pass, nearly stolen by Yaki. Into Kesley Stevenson, now to London Pavlica. She'll set up the offense from the Dixie State logo. Yo-yoing now dribbles to her right. Tried to dribble handoff with Kesley Stevenson. A little bit of miscommunication. London threw it out of bounds.
And we talked about it at the start. You've got to take care of this ball. When you're such a good defensive team, when you have miscommunication mistakes like that, you just, especially at the start, you can't have, it's just inexcusable at this point.
Absolutely got to take care of the ball against the Skyhawks team that forces nearly 10 steals a game. Ball in the hands of Big A. She gives to Yaki, their leading scorer, over 11 points per game. Entry pass is stolen by London Pavlica. She's got a 3-on-4. She'll wisely pull it back out. Didn't have the numbers there. Gives to Kessie Stevenson around the horn to Allie Franks. Franks now back to Pavlica. She'll back up, set up the offense. Cameron Mooney recently checked into the ballgame. She gives backdoor to Allie Franks. Nice play, and Allie Franks lays it up and in.
And you saw Allie Franks cut underneath into the basket. Great move there to get the bucket.
Great communication by Mooney and Allie Franks to get that back door, and the Trailblazers have cut the deficit to just one. Toby, she controls on the angle right. She'll penetrate. Blocked by Mooney, but a foul is called. Looked like the right call. Cameron Mooney with her first. Got her on the arm. And Toby will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Morningside Rose Toby I shouldn't say 83% free throw shooter on the season. A very good free throw shooter. First one is up and good. And Morning Rose Toby is on the board.
I just have to say at this point, way to go for the Trailblazers not to give up. They were down 10-0 and have just battled back and have made this one a game.
Certainly tough to spot your opponent 10 points and then make a quick run to get back into it at such a rapid pace as Toby makes the second one. Trailblazers control. Maddie Loftus just checking into the game. She gives to London Pavlica. Entry pass nearly stolen from Mooney. She gives it back out to Pavlica. She'll look to penetrate back to Mooney on the right junction. Maddie Loftus now looks to penetrate off a Mooney screen. Picks up the dribble, goes back door again with Allie Franks. Kick out to Kesley Stevenson. Her three-pointer no good. Too strong. Rebound to Candelaria. Candelaria now is fouled. Looks like it's going to be London Pavlica trying to reach in and steal that one away from Sydney Candelaria. And she'll be whistled for her first foul.
And on that last play, you have an air ball 3, and unfortunately you want the buckets. But great that they are seeing the floor and able to see a wide open player in the left corner with a wide open shot.
That's the play you want. Obviously, you ran the back door perfectly. Allie Franks, this time they cut off the back door when she got to the basket. She kicked out of the open man. I guess the open player on the three-point line. That's a shot you want, but obviously not the result as Allie Franks fouls Yaki on the other end. And Trailblazers now will be into the bonus. That's the 5th team foul. And you're sending Alyssa Yaki, a 71% free throw shooter, to the line.
And Yaki, the leading scorer for the Skyhawks. Nearly 12 points a game.
11.8 points per game on the season. Alyssa Yaki makes both free throws. And they gave the foul to Allie Franks, looks like, on the other end. Van Kampen now gives to Maddie Loftus. She's on the angle right. Gives to Morgan Myers. Running 2-man game. Ball nearly lost. Morgan Myers regathers it, but now stolen by Yaki.
Third steal now for the Skyhawks.
Candelaria gets all the way to the bucket. Left-hand layup is up and good. She went coast to coast. No one stopped the ball, and a good move going right to left for Candelaria.
Good points off the turnovers there for the Skyhawks.
Candelaria already up to 7 points for the Skyhawks. A three-pointer as well. Lisa Van Kampen gets into the lane, fakes right, goes left. She'll go up with a layup, but she'll be fouled. That's going to be on number 32, Jordan Carter. That's her first, and Lisa Van Kampen will go to the line for a pair of free throws.
And that's what you like to see. When you're underneath the basket and you've got 2 players in on you, you go up. 9 times out of 10, you're going to draw the foul, and that's exactly what she did. She went up strong and was able to try and get the points at the free throw line.
No good on the first free throw. Good matchup down there, down low. Lisa Van Kampen running 6'1" up against Jordan Carter, another 6'1" center. So good matchup. Going to be hopefully a good battle all night long as Lisa Van Kampen's second free throw is true. And the Trailblazers now trail 16-10. Ball in the hands of Caitlin Romero. Long cross-court pass to Valencia. Valencia now back to Romero. She's setting up the offense from the middle circle. Skyhawks playing for 1 shot. Difference between the shot clock and game clock, about 1.5 seconds, maybe 2 seconds. Now Romero goes. She dribbles to the left, looks to go back door, gets it into Jordan. Three Trailblazers surrounding her. Her shot is up, no good. Good defense by the Trailblazers, and they call a shot clock violation. Good defensive possession for Dixie State. 0.8 seconds remaining on the game clock, and the Skyhawks come out in a full court press, make sure the Trailblazers don't get an easy one from half court.
And that's how you want to end the quarter defensively. Make them use their shot clock. Obviously, they're trying to let the quarter run out, but a good play there as they force them and up in a shot that they just didn't want to take.
Trailblazers fight back after giving up 10 early points on a 10-0 run. They fight back to cut the deficit 16-10 after one. We'll take a 60-second timeout and be back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back inside Burns Arena. Skyhawks leading this one 16-10 at the end of the first quarter over Dixie State University. They will inbound the ball, and the ball is in the hands of Mariah Martine. She runs pick and roll with Kesley Stevenson and out of Lisa Van Kampen. She'll try to penetrate, gets cut off, kicks it out of London Pavlik. She fakes right, goes left. She'll kick back to Lisa Van Kampen. Ball is stolen, grabbed away by Herrera, and a whistle and a foul is going to be called on Allie Franks on the loose ball. Good play there defensively by Kayla Herrera, getting her hand in the passing lane and grabbing that steal and forcing the foul by Allie Franks. That's her second.
And that's just what the Skyhawks do. They get in your face, they use their hands, and they create these turnovers. And really, Dixie State, we talked about early, struggling to take care of the ball on the offensive end. Already 5th turnover.
5 turnovers, like you mentioned already, is Herrera controls on the angle left, looking for a cutter, can't find one, gives to Candelaria on the angle right. Down low to Jordan, and a whistle, another whistle. Looks like going to be called on Van Kampen. A little bit of a touch foul there on the low block.
And that's tough. Skyhawks are 6 for 6 from the line, and already 2 fouls, not even a minute in. You're going to be giving them easy points from the charity stripe.
2 fouls indeed. Bonus, remember, is 5 in women's college basketball. As another good defensive play by London Pavlik, as she'll knock that one out of bounds on the entry pass from Caitlin Romero. London Pavlik has come in, has had a very solid impact. 5 points off the bench, a steal, a couple of rebounds, and just played very well and aggressive defensively to try to get the Trailblazers back into this one. Ball is inbounded to Sydney Candelaria. She'll set up the offense for the Skyhawks. Over in the left corner is Romero, back to Herrera. She'll penetrate, get all the way to the basket. No good. Rebound to Mariah Martine. She looks to push. 3-on-2 up-court pass to Kessie Stevenson is too low, stolen away by Jordan Carter, and the Skyhawks come back the other direction.
You've got to be careful in transition. Take care of the ball, look for good passes. Sometimes when you're down, you look to try and get too quick, and then you have those mistakes.
Layup by Jordan Carter, rolls off the front of the rim and grabbed by London Pavlik. She gives to Mooney and now to Mariah Martine. Down to the low block to London Pavlik. She'll look to make a move, kicks it out to Morgan Myers. Now back to Pavlik on the right junction. She'll square up to the basket, give to Mariah Martine. Backs it back out and finds Mooney. 5 seconds on the shot clock. London Pavlik looks to penetrate. She gets to the basket, tries to kick out to Kessie Stevenson. Fakes right, goes left, got to have a shot, and they don't get it.
And
shot clock violation.
I don't think Stevenson quite saw the shot clock running down. She tried to pass it. She didn't want to take that shot.
Trailblazers bench was adamant the shot clock was running down. Not sure if anyone was able to hear her, but Trailblazers turn it over for their 7th time already in just over 11 minutes of action to begin this one. Romero controls, now gives to Herrera on the angle left. She looks for a cutter, can't find one, is trying to find Fortner on the low block, but ball is stolen away. Morgan Myers grabs that one, and she'll give it to Mariah Martine quickly into the front court. Angle right, she gives to Mooney, top of the key. Look to go back door with London Pavlik, can't find her. Now over to Maddie Loftus. Now give it to Pavlik on the low block, but a reach and foul. That's going to be on number 13, Kayla Herrera, her first team foul in the quarter against the Skyhawks. Miley Richardson checking in for the first time, as well as Rochelle Blazard. She'll see some action. London Pavlik gets a well-deserved rest. Mariah Martine to inbound. She gives to Morgan Myers, who gives it to Richardson. Ball is immediately stolen away by Aubrey Fortner. A good play there by the 5'11 redshirt junior forward. Herrera now 15-foot jumper, rolls around and in.
That's the first points for either team here in this quarter. A slow offensive start for both.
After a 10-0 run by the Skyhawks to start the game, things have cooled down a little bit. Just 8 points since that opening run. Rochelle Blassard now gives to Myers and to Richardson on the left junction. Back to Myers. She thought about a three. Now she'll dribble, penetrate, is cut off, forced into a double team, and throws it off the defender. Trailblazers will retain possession underneath their own basket. Good play there by Morgan Myers after recognizing the double team to throw it off Candelaria. Ball's inbounded to Rochelle Blassard. Now to Maddie Loftus. 5 on the shot clock. Loftus loses it. Another steal, another turnover. Ball in the hands of Candelaria. She'll back it out now. On the angle right now, she'll penetrate, gets into the key, pulls up. 10-foot jumper is no good, too strong. Loftus the rebound.
Interesting shot taken right there. A lot of time on the shot clock.
As Rochelle Blassard on the other end makes a layup.
First points now for the Trailblazers in the quarter. Over 3 minutes gone by.
That was just a good, fast, kind of a transition play there. No one picked up Rochelle Blassard, and the Trailblazers get an easy one. Fortner now driving, wild shot. Morgan Myers comes down with a rebound. She'll pull it back, not having the numbers. And she'll set up the Trailblazer offense. 6.5 to go in the second quarter. Trailblazers down 18-12. Entry pass into Miley Richardson. She'll try to go up and under. No good. Rebound is grabbed by number 11, Abigail Jensen, recently checked into the ball game. Entry pass into Fortner, and she's going to get called for a charge. Morgan Myers draws that one. Pretty obvious, an easy one for the referees.
You know, and the bench players doing great job for Trailblazers. You know, sometimes your starters just, the energy isn't quite there. You love to see players come off the bench, create that spark, and that's really what led them on that 7-0 run in the first quarter as well.
Mariah Martine handling for the Trailblazers. She gives to Maddie Loftus, try to run back door with Rochelle Blassard, can't find her. Blassard now at the top of the key, gives to Loftus on the right junction, looking for a cutter. Lazy pass stolen away by Candelaria. An easy transition layup is put in by Sydney Candelaria. Turnovers really hurting the Trailblazers early on in this one. That was just a lazy cross-court pass. Trying to find Mariah Martine, but Candelaria did a good job of stepping into the passing lane. She's got 9 quick points for the Skyhawks. Maddie Loftus now another lazy pass, nearly stolen away again by Candelaria. She's working hard. That one tipped out of bounds, though, and controlled by the Trailblazers.
Again, you mentioned their passes, and really just they're just not communicating as well as you'd like to see, and almost looking a little frantic in their passes.
Rochelle Blassard holds for the Trailblazers, and she'll get tied up by Herrera. Possession arrow favors the Skyhawks, and another turnover by the Trailblazers.
Turnover number 11.
11 turnovers already for Dixie State in the first 15 minutes of this one. Valencia gives to Herrera. She'll set up the offense, now looks to penetrate, gets 15-foot jumper, no good, off the front of the iron, rebound Rochelle Blassard. She evades 2 Skyhawks and now brings the ball into the front court. Tries to get all the way to the basket, now stops, turns on a pivot. London Pavlik's three-pointer, no good, and rebound out of the Skyhawks.
And they're doing pretty good off the glass, the Trailblazers are, but unfortunately can't capitalize on the other end. They not doing so well on the offensive end.
12-foot jumper put in by Abigail Jensen on the other end. She's on the board with her 2 points. Pretty balanced scoring attack for the Skyhawks with the exception of Cindy Candelaria. She's got 9 for Fort Lewis. London Pavlik gives to Mariah Martine. Trailblazers in need of a bucket, now trailing by 10. London Pavlik tries to get all the way to the basket. Is cut off. High pass stolen away again by Cindy Candelaria. She's got a couple of steals already. She controls cross-court pass to Valencia on the angle left. Run pick and roll with Jensen. Cross-court to Herrera. She'll pick up her dribble. Now finds Jensen for a 15-foot jumper off the front of the iron and rolls in.
And again, just that space she was
Ken
given.
Garf, St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Look back inside Burns Arena. Fort Lewis leads this one 24-12. That's your Chick-fil-A scoreboard update. Trailblazers really struggling with turnovers. Already a dozen turnovers for the Trailblazers early on in the first 16 minutes of this one. London Pavlica, she gives to Allie Franks on the offensive end. She'll go up, thought she was bumped. No call. Rebound to the Skyhawks. Herrera, angle left. She'll dribble baseline, cut off by Van Campen. Cross-court pass high by Candelaria. She gathers it in. Now over to Herrera on the angle left. She'll bring it back out now, back to Candelaria. She thought about a three. Now she'll penetrate. Get in, spins to her left, and she traveled. Sydney Candelaria got low into the low block. Thought she'd get crafty with a little spin move, but took one too many steps.
Only the 5th turnover now on Fort Lewis.
The Trailblazers shooting a better percentage from the field over Fort Lewis, but obviously with the amount of more possessions the Skyhawks have gotten, that's the difference in this ball game. Kesley Stevenson, she'll kick it out to London Pavlica. Her three-pointer no good, around and out. Out and rolled around and touched every part of the rim before coming out and rebound to Sydney Candelaria. She's got 9 early ones for the Skyhawks. Dribble handoff with Herrera. She brings back out now to the top of the key. She'll fake left, go right, gets all the way to the basket. Right-hand layup is no good. Good defense by Lisa Van Campen, and the Trailblazers gather the rebound. Mariah Martin looking to push now, gives to Van Campen. She'll try a layup. No good off the front of the iron. Trailblazers just can't buy a bucket right now. Rebound to the Skyhawks. Kayla Herrera into the front court. She'll dribble handoff with Valencia. Ball is nearly stolen by Allie Franks. Candelaria grabs it. Runs pick and roll with Jensen. Candelaria lost it. Nearly stolen away. No one guards her on the three-point line. She'll shoot it. No good. Too strong. Rebound is loose and controlled by London Pavlica. She's into the front court. Down court pass to Allie Franks. And a good play by the Trailblazers as Allie Franks lays that one up and in.
And a great offensive rebound to limit their offensive rebounds. And that's where they're really good in getting the second chance points and able to capitalize on the other end.
Good defensive play here as the Trailblazers trap Valencia, but are going to be called for a foul. Going to give that one to Mariah Martin, her second. Pair of fouls now on Mariah Martin after a trap. Like you mentioned, that previous play created on the defensive glass. Lisa Van Campen did a very good job of just kind of tipping that away from the would-be offensive rebounder. Allowed London Pavlica to get it, and then Allie Franks was just streaking down the court. Nobody picked her up. Easy transition, fast break play to get the Trailblazers an easy bucket. Begay now gives to Carter on the low block. She'll turn around, 10-foot jumper, fadeaway is good.
And she had a hand right in her face, but it just went straight through the net, didn't even hit rim.
47% field goal shooter is Jordan Carter. That's her range right there in that little 10-foot half circle around the basket, if you will. Mariah Martin now on the other end for the Trailblazers. Gives to Kesley Stevenson. Van Campen now dribble handoff with London Pavlica. Fakes a three, now goes right. 9 on the shot clock. Mariah Martin gets all the way to the bucket. Good penetration, and she'll be fouled by Carter as she goes to the basket. Second on Jordan Carter. Mariah Martin will go and shoot a pair of free throws.
And the Skyhawks defensively doing a good job. Almost, what they're trying to do is to keep the Trailblazers in off the shot clock, limiting any shots. They're just not getting the looks that they want. Just the mistake with the foul, but great for Martin to go up and just draw that foul.
Mariah Martin's first free throw up and good. You see here, does a good job of going up strong, and then obviously Carter comes over with the body and fouls Mariah Martin, a 72% free throw shooter on the season. And she'll have another. This one up and no good. Too strong off the back of the iron, and rebound to Aubrey Fortner. She gives to Caitlin Romero, who will bring it across the timeline. Just barely got it across with 1 second to spare. Ball stolen by Morgan Myers. She's got Mariah Martin streaking up the court, and she'll lay it up and in. Good defensive play for the Trailblazers as Mariah Martin puts in her 5th point. Trailblazers now with a little bit of three-quarter court pressure. Another trap there. Got out of it, though, and the Skyhawks get an open three-pointer, and they'll drill it. That's Tanisha Begay. She drills a three-pointer. Just 22% three-point shooter for Tanisha Begay, but she knocks down that open one. Lisa Van Campen now on the other end. Ball is stolen away. Thought it might have been a reach down. Morgan Myers, she's working hard. She gets on the ground, and she'll force a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Trailblazers. Good play created there by Morgan Myers, not giving up on the loose ball and getting on the ground. You can see here, Ball is dribbled off the foot of Yaki. Morgan Myers does a good job of getting on the floor there.
And great job keeping an eye on the ball to know where, I mean, that was just a sloppy mistake on the Skyhawks end and able to capitalize there because she was aware.
Entry pass is given to Allie Franks. Her layup is no good. She gets her own rebound, though, goes back up, and she'll be fouled on the second attempt. That's on number 31, Alyssa Yaki, her first. And Allie Franks working hard on the offensive glass. She'll go to the line to shoot 2 free throws.
And the Trailblazers getting a lot of good looks. The ball is just not falling for them. Struggling shooting here tonight, only 16% from 3. I mean, not too bad, 35% from the field.
Allie Franks' first free throw is good. She's got 5 points for the Trailblazers. 3 different Trailblazers with 5 points. Franks alongside London Pavlica and Mariah Martin. Second free throw for Franks is up and good. Trailblazers cut it back to 10, 29-19, 33 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Trailblazers would love to get a stop here on this possession and maybe get a chance to get one more look at it. Shot clock and game clock separated by about 3.5 seconds. Herrera now gets one down and tipped away by London Pavlica. Good play. That saved a layup there. Aubrey Fortnight was wide open underneath the basket, and London Pavlica recovered nicely on the play to knock that one out of bounds.
And that's a result of the Skyhawks trying to break through that press, so good job on that press up the court.
Press sometimes can be obviously good for you, but it'll make your defense shift, and if you double team one, obviously someone's wide open, and London Pavlica did a good job on that one. Now a whistle. We got some blood on the floor, it looks like. Maybe Alyssa Yaki might have got a little blood on her. She'll go to the bench. The Skyhawks will inbound. 3.5 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. For the Trailblazers, got to have a stop here. Love to go in to halftime just down 10, maybe even less than that if you can get another offensive possession. Ball in the hands of Candelaria. She goes all the way to the basket, and she lays it up and in. Shot clock goes off just after, it looked like to me at least, the layup. Might want to review that one. Thought the shot clock might have gone off just as she was laying it up. I'd love to see another replay of that one if we could.
Yeah, I think you're right. There should be a little bit more time on this. You do have the refs at the score table. Doesn't look like they'll
not gonna
do this, though.
Not gonna review it. Love to see a replay though if we could in the truck. Might not get it. We'll get that look for you after we come back. We'll take a 5-minute timeout, a 5-minute halftime timeout. We'll be back, give you some halftime thoughts, and we'll be back in 5 minutes on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
And welcome back inside Burns Arena for your Info West halftime report. Trailblazers trailing this one 31-19 against the Fort Lewis Skyhawks. A rough first half for the Trailblazers. We'll break it all down for you as well as bring you a few first half highlights. But Kylie, I want to get your thoughts, early breakdown of the first half. What did you see, and what did the Trailblazers got to do to fix things in the second half?
Well, I feel like I'm a broken record here, but turnovers. You've got 12 turnovers for the Trailblazers in that first half on 10 steals for the Skyhawks, leading to 10 points off of turnovers. When a game is a 12-point difference, I mean, that's a huge difference, especially you look at all the other stats on the box score. They're actually out-rebounding their opponent. They're not shooting terribly, but really those turnovers are really could cost them this game.
Turnovers lead to extra possessions. That's obviously the biggest difference right now in the ball game. Trailblazers go 7 of 20 from the field in the first half, 35%, just 1 of 6 from downtown, and 4 of 6 from the free throw line. In conjunction to that, 11 of 28 for the Skyhawks, 39.3%, 3 of 8 from downtown. They started out hitting back-to-back threes to open things up, and then hit another 3 late in the second quarter, leading now by 12 points. Like you mentioned, 12 turnovers for the Trailblazers. Skyhawks force 18 turnovers a game, so well on their way to matching that, and maybe even surplusing that margin tonight as well. The Trailblazers have to turn things around if they're going to get back into this one. You mentioned the 10 points off of turnovers, and not only that, 5 second chance points. Those 15 points right there, you limit those offensive rebounds and the turnovers, you got a different ball game. And then offensively for the Trailblazers, you're not playing terribly. Obviously, you'd like to be able to, have a little bit higher percentage from the field, but 35%, you're out shooting your opponent for most of that first half. A couple of field goals late by the Skyhawks tipped the numbers a little bit there. But for the Trailblazers, you got to go in and you got to think, man, this is a team that comes in 4-9 in the RMAC, and a game you cannot lose if you're the Trailblazers at home. Let's see if we can get a few first half highlights, if we will, back in the truck. Mariah Martin, you'll see on this one, fakes right, goes left. That was one of the nifty plays from Mariah Martin, the 5'7" sophomore guard. And then London Pavlica, she gave the Trailblazers a big boost off the bench, laying that one up and in. She played very well defensively. And then, of course, here, the fast break from Allie Franks kicks out London Pavlica on the very next possession, and she drills the three there. Allie Franks goes backdoor. Cameron Mooney finds her, lays it up and in. And then, of course, Morgan Myers grabs the steal on the other end. Very good defensive play there for Morgan Myers. And then, obviously, Rochelle Blazard gets an easy layup there. London Pavlica. Now, this was the one that London Pavlica got the offensive rebound created by Lisa Van Kampen. A fast break. Pass to Allie Franks, and she lays it up in. And then another steal by Morgan Myers. And Mariah Martin laid that one up and in as well. That was near the end of the second quarter. But Trailblazers really need to do a better job, like you mentioned, of taking care of the ball. And then offensively, you just got to continue doing what you're doing. You're getting good shots. There's a few times where penetration from the Trailblazers led to open three-pointers and just not able to knock them down. Like I mentioned, just 1 of 6 for the game on three-pointers. But offensively, we've talked about obviously taking care of the ball, but as far as scoring offensively, what do the Trailblazers have to do, Kylie, in the second half in order to get themselves back into this one?
Well, they've just got to keep getting those open looks. Obviously, the three isn't coming for you tonight. You can't rely on that. I mean, typically they're getting 8 threes a game. That's 24 points that they're easily getting from behind the arc. That's not happening tonight. So you got to come out and you got to say, okay, where are we getting those points tonight? In the paint, they're outscoring their opponent in the paint 12-8. So keep driving, keep penetrating inside. And they're doing a good job with going up. They're drawing the fouls as well and finding themselves at the free throw line.
Trailblazers trailing this one 31-19. While we got a minute, I'd like to look at some scoreboard action from around the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Just one other game to report. Colorado Mesa leading Regis 56-46. That one taking place in Grand Junction, Colorado. That is a final. Colorado Mesa defeating Regis 56-46. That's the only other game I have numbers for. Obviously, we'll keep you up to date as we go throughout this throughout the game tonight. But Trailblazers need to come back in this one if they're going to want a chance to win it on their home floor. That has been your Info West halftime report. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. And we'll be back for the second half on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back inside Burns Arena. Second half underway. Skyhawks have possession. Ball in the hands of Caitlin Romero. She gives to Herrera all the way around the perimeter. Now back to Yaki. Cross-court pass. Three-pointer is airballed. Good defensive start for the Trailblazers as Alyssa Yaki airballs a three.
And the Trailblazers have done a good job shutting down the leading scorer of Yaki for the Skyhawks. That's only her second shot that she's taken here tonight.
Just 2 points for Alyssa Yaki. She averages just under 12 points per game for Fort Lewis. Morgan Myers now looks to penetrate. She's lost it. Now is tied up on the other end. Ball just got away from her, tried to regain it, but was tied up. Looked like, no, they're going to call it just out of bounds. Or no, did they call a jump ball?
Yeah, they called the jump ball.
Did call a
on that
jump
one.
ball. Trailblazers did have possession. So alternating possession. We'll give it to Dixie State. Mariah Martine running pick and roll with Van Camp, and 7 on the shot clock. Martine gets all the way to the basket. Fadeaway jumper is up and good. Mariah Martine gets the scoring started early for the Trailblazers in the second half, and she's up to 7 points.
And this is the start you want for the Trailblazers early. Get a stop on the defensive end, come up, finish at the basket, and find yourself at the free throw line for a 3-point opportunity the old-fashioned way.
Mariah Martine connects on the free throw. She does complete the old-fashioned 3-point play, and she's got 8 to lead all Dixie State scorers. Little half-court pressure there. Ball in the hands of Carter. Now gives Candelaria in the right junction over to Herrera on the angle right. She looks to penetrate, knocked away by Morgan Myers. Now gives to Yaki. She penetrates, cross-court pass into the corner. That's Romero. 3-pointer is no good. Too strong, and rebound by Morgan Myers. Quickly to Mariah Martine. She'll now pull it back out. Set up the offense for the Trailblazers. She fakes right, goes left. Now looks to penetrate, is cut off. Gives to Morgan Myers around the perimeter to Kessie Stevenson. She'll kick to Allie Franks, back to Van Camp at top of the key. Good movement by the Trailblazers here on this possession. Morgan Myers goes up against Carter. Good defense there. Layup is no good. Carter just stood her ground there. Morgan Myers ran into a brick wall. Candelaria on the other end. She'll penetrate. Errant pass, but grabbed by Herrera. Now over to Romero. Now to Herrera on the angle right. She'll dribble baseline up and under. Reverse layup is good.
And she just did a good job losing both the defenders on the left side of the glass, and then came back with a nifty move underneath.
Good reverse layup after kind of lulling her defender to sleep. 7 points for Kayla Herrera, the 5'9" junior guard from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Mariah Martine on the other end gives to Allie Franks. Now over to Lisa Van Camp, and she'll try a 3. No good. Too strong. Off the back of the iron. Rebound to Yaki.
And again, the 3 ball just not falling for the Trailblazers. You'd like him to see it get a little bit better look.
Jordan Carter now on the low block working against Van Camp, and she'll get called for another charge. Second time Jordan Carter has been called for a charge. Her 3rd foul of the game, you see there, just going up against Lisa Van Camp in good position. And she'll just knocks her over.
Van Campen doing a good job drawing that foul, staying strong, and able to create that turnover.
So the Trailblazers take possession off the turnover. Allie Franks controls. She'll penetrate, gets all the way to the basket, and dribble it off her foot. Good move by Allie Franks. She got all the way to the basket on a tremendous move, but just couldn't gather it. You'll see here, gets all the way to the basket. Can't grab it, took her eye off the ball, and dribbled it off her knee.
I like this full court press the Trailblazers are setting up here. They did it at the end of the second half, and were able to capitalize on the defensive end, turning back to a play on the offensive end. See if they kind of keep it up, have the energy to do so.
Trying to run just a little trap. Once they get it across the timeline, they do just that. Lisa Van Campen still gives it to Morgan Myers. Her left-hand layup is up and good. There's the defense paying dividends, just like you mentioned early in the second half.
Coaches wanting over the back.
The Trailblazers begging for an over the back. Instead, it costs them a layup on the other end. Alyssa Yaki, her 4th point. That one looked like it was over and back. That referee had a good angle on it. Was looking right down the line and was shaking his head, saying that she never went over. Kessie Stevenson, she'll try a 3 on the other end. No good. Rebound, Sydney Candelaria. Quickly in the front court now. She gives cross-court pass to Kayla Herrera. Now to Fortner. Aubrey Fortner dribble handoff with Candelaria over to Herrera. She's got a wide-open 3-pointer. She'll try it. No good. Too strong. Rebound to Mariah Martine. Quickly into the front court now for the Trailblazers. She kicks out to Allie Franks. Runs screen with Lisa Van Campen. Now gives it to her and back to Mariah Martine. Runs back door with Van Campen. With Allie Franks. That was a good play, and she lays it up and in.
And every time they've been able to run that play with the back cut, they really have been able to capitalize.
8 points for Allie Franks as the Trailblazers try to trap on the other end. Sydney Candelaria does a good job of breaking the press, and she'll lay it up and in. She's the first in double figures with 11 points for the Skyhawks.
Stevenson now on the back right corner.
Van Campen gives to Morgan Myers, and Now back to Van Campen, top of the key, gives to Allie Franks on the right junction, over to Morgan Myers, angle left. Morgan Myers gives to Martine. She'll penetrate, spins to her left, back to her left, and laid it up and in. Mariah Martine. She spun one way to her right, then back to the left, laid it up and in with the left hand. She's got 10 for the Trailblazers.
And just showing that patience as she tries to lose her defender instead of just going up with waiting for that better look.
Mariah Martine so crafty around the basket. As Aubrey Fortner tries to take Van Campen to the basket, she'll lay that one up and in. Got a friendly bounce off the iron, and she's got 4 points for the Skyhawks. And the Trailblazers can't cut into the lead any further. 39-28, 4.5 to go remaining in the third quarter. Excuse me. Mariah Martine gives to Van Campen, thought about a three. Now she'll penetrate. Fakes right, goes left. Mariah Martine, she'll try an open three-pointer. Bang! Mariah Martine coming to life for the Trailblazers in the second half.
And that's the first three-pointer since early in that first quarter.
Mariah Martine off the penetration from Lisa Van Campen was left wide open, and the Trailblazers have cut the lead to 8. Herrera now gives to Fortner on the low block. She tries to work again against Van Campen. This time no good, but a good offensive rebound by Herrera. She'll now penetrate, kicks to Aubrey Fortner for three-pointer. She'll hit it.
And those second chance points we talked about. You've got to limit those and stay up on defense.
That play created by Kayla Herrera on the offensive glass, is never giving up on the play. No one boxed her out. She grabbed it, kicked it across court to Fortner for the three. Now Lisa Van Campen getting crafty. She drives and lays that one up and in for 2. And the Trailblazers are back within 9. Back and forth we go. Lisa Van Campen with 3 points. Valencia now. She gives to Herrera. Thought about a three. Dribble baseline. Now gives to Fortner. Nobody guarded her. Good play by Herrera and Fortner. The two-man game for them is working right now.
And once you're capitalizing on the offensive end, that just can't be enough. You've got to get those stops underneath, especially underneath the basket.
Allie Franks got all the way to the basket, looked to kick it out, and she came down hard. Looked like it might have hit her head on the hardwood. Hate to see that. Kind of a tricky play there.
Yeah, she just went right down and smacked that head on the floor. They will call a blocking foul. Almost looked like she was going to go up for that shot, but it passed it, so she won't be getting any free throws on this one.
We will take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Back inside for Christina. Allie Franks helped off the court momentarily. Just looked like it might have hit her head on that last play. As a reminder, timeouts brought to you by Catering Concept, as we see here, kind of just going to the basket. Yeah, just kind of got caught up. Legs got caught up with Hannah Valencia on the offensive end, and then might have just knocked her head a little bit. She is on the Dixie State bench, but was subbed out shortly after being helped off the floor. The Trailblazers will inbound it underneath their own basket. Rochelle Blaser to trigger the inbounds pass. She tries to find Morgan Myers. Ball is tipped, regathered by Myers, and over to Maddie Loftus. She gives back to Morgan Myers, and now back to Loftus. Cameron Mooney looks to go back towards Morgan Myers. Ball is stolen away. Bad pass. Herrera trips, and it's nearly stolen by Morgan Myers. And the Skyhawks will regain possession. Morgan Myers actually took that ball away, but fell out of bounds. And the Skyhawks will regain possession. Trailblazers now come out in a three-quarter court press.
We liked what we saw them do last time. We'll see if they'll be able to do that again.
Got to get some turnovers on this. You got to get some turnovers defensively if you're the Trailblazers. 3 minutes, 12 seconds remaining. You're down by 11. You got to get some stops or some turnovers and then execute on the offensive end. Kayla Herrera controls for the Skyhawk. Trailblazers fall back and now look to pressure to double team. Loftus and Morgan Myers, they do double team and force a timeout for the Skyhawks.
That's good defense. That's what you want to see as she gets trapped there, and make them take a timeout that they might not necessarily want to use right now.
They kind of came out in the three-quarter court press and then, laid back as if they weren't going to press at all, and then all of a sudden forced the double team. And as a reminder, Catering Concepts bringing you your timeouts tonight. We'll keep it right here for this timeout. Wanted to go over a few things. Trailblazers, like you mentioned, have done better on the turnovers. Just one turnover up to this point in the third quarter. They had 12 in the first half, and that obviously was one of their biggest detriments in that first half. But just one turnover so far in the third quarter. They've actually outscored the Skyhawks 14-13. But again, you've got to execute on both ends of the floor at this point. You don't have a whole lot of more time. You got one quarter plus some change here in the third. You really got to come out and play and execute offensively and defensively.
Yeah, and really off the glass too. They're both tied with 19 rebounds apiece here, but really you've got to limit those rebounds and maybe set yourself up for some second chance points as well. They've only had 2 here tonight.
Trailblazers are shooting a better percentage in the third quarter. A team that shoots 41% from the field. Normally, they average just over 70 points per game. Obviously, well below that mark tonight as they trail this one by 11, 3 minutes to go. And the Skyhawks inbound, give it to Alyssa Yaki. She controls on the angle right. She fakes right, goes left. She'll kick out to Begay. Begay now to Fortner. Back to Yaki in the left corner. Yaki looks to penetrate, gets into the key, lays it up. No good, off the back of the iron.
Yaki 1 for 4 tonight.
Done a good job on the leading scorer for the Skyhawks. Alyssa Yaki, just 4 points, nearly 12 a game. Entry pass to Mooney. She'll kick out to Maddie Loftus. She'll airball the 3. Maddie Loftus, a good 3-point shooter on the season. 38% from 3, but that one, no good.
And I would have liked to see Mooney go up in that shot. A great cut underneath. She was there, a little timid. You'd like to see her take on the opponent and put up the layup.
Obviously, we say that knowing the result of the play. Had Loftus hit the 3, we would have thought otherwise, but Loftus gets the rebound on the other end off the miss from the Skyhawks. London Pavlica, she'll get called for a travel. Good call by the referee, and the Trailblazers turn it over once again.
Here you'll see Martine check in, leading the way tonight. This will be the surge off the bench that this defense needs right now.
Just 5 Trailblazers have scored tonight. Mariah Martine leading all of them with 13. Allie Franks has 8. London Pavlica has 5. Lisa Van Kampen with 3. And Rochelle Blazer with 2 for the Trailblazers. Ball is tipped by Mariah Martine and stolen away. Mariah Martine's got it. She's got a 3-on-2 fast break. She gives to Morgan Myers. He goes all the way to the basket, lays it up and in. Good play, both offensively and defensively for Mariah Martine.
And again, you have the soft press here. And it seems to be working as they continue to go. But there you see the press. That's where it can hurt you, is you get a player wide open underneath the basket.
Abigail Jensen lays that one up and in off. The Skyhawks beating the defensive pressure from the Trailblazers. Mariah Martine now controls. She gives down low to Mooney. Her layup is no good, too strong, and rebound controlled by Tanisha Begay. She'll now give to Toby. She'll dribble into the right corner. Back to Begay on the top of the key. She'll look to penetrate. 15-foot fadeaway jumper is good. Tanisha Begay drills that one.
You've got to get a hand in her face, a non-contested shot right there.
Good move by Begay. Dribbled to her left hand, got into the lane, and then a little step back, 15-foot fadeaway jumper, and knocked it in. 52 seconds remaining. Trailblazers trail this one 48-35. Largest lead of the game for the Skyhawks. Morgan Myers, she'll try a 3. No good off the front of the iron. Rebound to Begay. Begay quickly into the front court now, but stolen away by Morgan Myers. She'll look to push. She goes one-on-one with Begay, right to left dribble, and she lays it up and in. Morgan Myers creates the defensive play off the steal and then lays it up and on the other end.
And that's what you need as you're getting ready to go into this final quarter.
Trailblazers looking to regain some momentum. 20 seconds remaining. The Skyhawks can hold for the final shot. Shot clock is off. Love to get a defensive stop here for the Trailblazers and try to carry some momentum into the fourth quarter. Down to 6. Ball in the hands of Toby. Now she'll go. 3 seconds remaining. Gets all the way to the basket. Now is cut off. Kicks out. Jensen's shot at the buzzer is no good. And the Trailblazers will end it trailing 48-37 at the end of the third quarter. A good play to at least get 2 points back off the largest lead of 13 to end this one. A lot of work to do left for the Trailblazers. They trail by 11, 48-37 going into the fourth quarter. We'll be back in 60 seconds and finish this one up for you on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi, I'd like to report a bear sighting, as in Smokey Bear.
Continue.
I was burning yard waste. He told me to remember that if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
You know, 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans. That means 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
I know that now.
As usual, the talking bear gets all the credit. Always burn responsibly and contact your local fire department for open burning regulations. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Go back inside Burns. We've seen the start of the fourth quarter. Trailblazers right now on the losing end of this one, 48-37 to the Skyhawks. And they will maintain possession to open the fourth quarter. Ball in the hands of Caitlin Romero. She gives to Herrera on the angle right now, down to Yaki on the low block. Back to Herrera. She looks to penetrate baseline. Cross-court pass. That's Romero. Her three-pointer is no good. Too strong off the back of the iron. A rebound is controlled by the Trailblazers. Quickly in the front court now, Martine gives to Pavica. She fakes right, goes left, dribble handoff with Martine. Looks to go back to her with Van Kampen. Couldn't find her. Allie Franks now finds her on the low block. Ball is dropped. Van Kampen kicks it back out. Round the perimeter to Morgan Myers, and ball is loose. Morgan Myers lost it out of bounds. Last touched by the Trailblazers, and another turnover to start the fourth quarter.
And they did a good job taking care of the ball in that third quarter. Only 3 turnovers. Unfortunately, a quick turnover here to start the final quarter.
Got to get stops defensively, and then obviously got to execute on the offensive end if you're the Trailblazers. Candelaria controls for Fort Lewis. Now gives to Herrera. She'll penetrate, gets all the way underneath the basket. Cross-court pass looked like it might have been tipped, thrown out of bounds. It was tipped, they do say, and the Skyhawks will keep the possession. 11 seconds on the shot clock. They'll have to inbound from the Coffin corner down there on the far right side of the floor. They do get it in to Yaki at the top of the key. 8 seconds to shoot. Rocky spins to her right. She'll go and lays it up and in. Nice move by Alyssa Yaki. She's got 6 points for the Skyhawks. Brian Martine on the other end. Runs two-man game with Allie Franks. Now to Morgan Myers. Back to Franks and into Lisa Van Kampen on the right junction. She'll face up square away. 15-foot jumper, no good. Clanged off the back of the iron. And Candelaria controls for Fort Lewis. Candelaria, she'll give to Yaki. Yaki trips and falls. We have a whistle. Looks like we're going to get a travel maybe, or
They called a kick ball on that.
call a kick ball on Yaki? That's a strange one. Yaki had possession, just kind of fell over.
And she was on the floor, I guess.
Ball kind of fell at her
floor.
feet. Might have kicked it on the floor, I guess, but Trailblazers regained possession nonetheless. Pavica gives to Allie Franks. Now back to Pavica. Fake right, go left. She'll try a three-pointer. Bang! London Pavica. She'll drill a three to get the Trailblazers back within 10.
Only the third three-pointer made here tonight. Only one of 2 players to do so.
Herrera cross-court pass to Candelaria. Now into Jordan Carter. She fakes right, spins to her left. Rebound to Pavica. Mariah Martine quickly into the front court now. She goes, fakes right, goes left. She'll kick to Lisa Van Kampen. She'll try a three-pointer. No good off the back of the iron. Too strong. Good look by Lisa Van Kampen off the penetration from Mariah Martine. Romero on the other end now gives to Yaki. She'll dribble baseline. Out of Herrera. Back to Yaki on the low block. She fakes left, goes right. Fadeaway jumper. Hook shot is good. Alyssa Yaki, she's starting to heat up now. 8 points. Now in the game. 7:22 remaining. 52-40. Trailblazers trail. Backdoor pass to Allie Franks from London Pavica is good. And Allie Franks is up to 10 points.
And again, that cut underneath, they're able to capitalize. And then on the soft press again.
Trailblazers look to double team as Skyhawks do break it. Jordan Carter gets it on the low block, but an offensive rebound off her miss. Candelaria tries a three, no good off the right. And another offensive rebound given by Carter. She'll try a left-hand layup, no good. And another offensive rebound by the Skyhawks. Candelaria grabs it. London Pavica, her defender, falls down. Herrera, she'll try a three, no good. Long rebound. And loose ball foul is going to be called against Candelaria. crazy possession there for the Trailblazers. Fortunate not to give up a bucket. Gave up 3 or 4 offensive rebounds. And then a foul call on Sydney Candelaria.
Yeah, even though they didn't score, you can't allow the Skyhawks at this point to get that many chances. They had 4 chances to score on that end. But now an opportunity to cut it back to single digits.
Got to keep chipping away. Lisa Van Kampen controls on the right junction. She throws it away. Tried to find Mariah Martin, but Sydney Candelaria got into the way. She goes coast to coast and lays it up and in. Sydney Candelaria, she's got 13 to lead all scorers.
And just when the Trailblazers seem to get there, just not able to capitalize on both ends of the court right now.
Thought you could feel the momentum switch a little bit, but now after that one, building goes quiet. London Pavlica controls for the Trailblazers. She gives to Mariah Martin. She'll run pick and roll. Now she'll go to her left. Lisa Van Kampen dribbles baseline up and under. She'll lay that one up and in.
And I would like to see that a little bit more of Van Kampen here in this final quarter. She's kind of been a little timid of the restricted area.
Morgan Myers got a hand on that one. Ball is loose. Still controlled by Candelaria. She's on the ground, and a 10-second backcourt violation. A good call by the referee to notice that one. 19 seconds on the shot clock, and a 10-second violation. Good defensive play there by the Trailblazers as they forced a loose ball, and they'll regain possession.
Now you've got to score here. You've been in this 10-9 point range. You've brought it back, but can you chip away even more into this? There's still time.
Love to see get within single digits right here. You can kind of feel the building's just kind of ready to get behind the Trailblazers if they can make a run. Van Kampen hands to Martin. She'll try a three-pointer. No good. Off the front of the iron. Rebound to Candelaria. Candelaria slowly into the front court now, guarded by Pavlica. Picks her up right at midcourt, does Pavlica. Now Candelaria gives to Romero on the angle right. Now to Herrera, top of the key. Over to the angle left, back to Candelaria. Candelaria, she'll yo-yo with the right hand. Gives to Valencia, angle left. Guarded by Ali Franks, runs screen and roll. Valencia kicks to Candelaria. She'll try a 10-foot jumper, and that's good. Sydney Candelaria carrying the Skyhawks now. 15 points now for the 5'8" sophomore guard from Albuquerque, New Mexico. 9.8 is just her average as Mariah Martin misses a layup on the other end and gets her own rebound. Kicks out to Morgan Myers. She'll try a three-pointer. Bang! Morgan Myers off the offensive rebound by Mariah Martin. Drills her first three-pointer of the game.
Only the third offensive rebound for Dixie State, but good to get those second chance points. 5 second chance points now in this one.
Trailblazers do indeed cut it to single digits, 56-47, 4:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Fortner controls on the low block. She tries to penetrate, now kicks out at Candelaria. She'll try a three and bang. Candelaria is taking over this game. She's got the last 7 points for the Skyhawks, and she's got 18 now on the game. Mariah Martin gives to Lisa Van Kampen, goes backdoor with Ali Franks. She lays it up and in, and a foul. Good play by Ali Franks to contort her body like that after receiving contact, and she has enough focus to lay it up and in. She'll go to the line for a three-point play. You see that one there, obviously a great view from the referee. We'll take immediate timeout. Trailblazers within 10. 4 minutes to go in this one. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Ranger Station.
Yeah, hi.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back inside Burns Arena. Trailblazers losing this one at the moment, 59-49, 3:49 remaining in the fourth quarter. Ali Franks is at the line to try to complete a three-point play. Ali Franks, she'll hit the free throw, and she will complete the three-point play. She's got 13 to match Mariah Martin as well. Trailblazers now come out in a three-quarter court press. Sydney Candelaria, she's got 20 points to lead all scorers. The double team now forces the ball out of the hands of Candelaria into the hands of Valencia. Cross-court pass back into Candelaria. Ball is kicked by London Pavlica on the attempted entry pass to Fortner, and the shot clock will be reset to 15 seconds. Candelaria will trigger the inbound from under, that's Caitlin Romero, not Candelaria. She'll trigger the inbounds. She finds Candelaria. Pump fake with left her feet did Candelaria, and the Trailblazers get a break. Nice move by Candelaria, but she moved her pivot foot, and it was called for the travel.
And now again, you have a chance to cut it in. They haven't been this close since I think they went on that 7-0 run.
59-50, 3.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Got to go now if you're the Trailblazers. Allie Franks gives to Mariah Martin. Trying to find Van Kampen. Runs pick and roll with Van Kampen. Mariah Martin kicks to Pavlica. She'll penetrate. Now it's cut off. Goes back to her left. Kicks to Mariah Martin. Throws it at her feet and turns it over. And the Skyhawks call a timeout. Had a good opportunity there. Mariah Martin was open for three, but a bad pass. And the ball kicked at her feet was stolen away by the Skyhawks. And we will take a timeout. Reminder, timeouts brought to you tonight by Catering Concepts. We'll keep it right here. Just a 30-second timeout. Trailblazers really have to fight their way back into this one if they're going to have a chance to win it. 3 minutes, 13 seconds remaining. 59-50. Obviously, nothing out of the realm of possibility, but you got to get stopped on the defensive end, and then you got to execute better offensively.
That's right. They're playing well in the second half. They shot 57% in the third quarter. Currently shooting 56% right now. But unfortunately, the Skyhawks are shooting just as well, playing just as well. And so really the lack of defense that keeps them in this 9 points, that they just can't break into it.
And Sydney Candelaria, she's been tremendous for the Skyhawks. 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals on the defensive end. She's really carried the load for the Skyhawks as their leading scorer. Alyssa Yagi just has 8 points, and most of those in the second half. And Candelaria might have got away with a push there. She'll find Valencia on the other end of the floor. Now to Yaki, back to Herrera on the top of the key. Candelaria on the angle left. She fakes right, goes left, twisted an ankle, lost it, and stolen by Mariah Martin. She penetrates. And ball is tipped and stolen away by Fortner. Now we'll tie it up. The jump ball possession arrow favors the Trailblazers. Fortunately for Dixie State, didn't lose that one.
And again, sloppy passes, putting them in a tough predicament. Luckily, they were able to keep possession on this.
Mariah Martin finds Van Kampen in the paint, but again, good hands by the Skyhawks, and we'll have another jump ball. Looked like that might have been Herrera to get her hand into that one from Van Kampen, and then just knocked it away. Van Kampen was turning to go shoot it, and Herrera just got her hand in there and knocked it away.
And again, you'll see this full court press here. Time ticking down. They've got to put on the pressure.
Candelaria. She controls, evades the double team, gives to Yaki. Yaki now penetrates, gets into the key. Fadeaway jumper, or fadeaway floater, is no good, but a foul. That's going to be on Mariah Martin, her third. Just the first team foul on Dixie State in the fourth quarter. But Yaki will go to the line for a pair of free throws, a 71% free throw shooter.
And Yaki coming alive after having a tough first half.
Yaki just 2 points in the first half. And she's come alive in the second half to the tune of 7 points as she misses the back end of the free throws. Mariah Martin controls for the Trailblazers, now down 10. 60-50, 2:20 remaining. Kesley Stevenson checked into the ball game. Now back to her. She'll try a three-pointer. Bang. Kesley Stevenson right off the bench. And she's a three-point sharpshooter for the Trailblazers. She might play a key role if they're to cut into this deficit. Down to 7. 2:05 remaining. Herrera. She penetrates ball stolen by London Pavlica. She's got one-on-one against Valencia. She'll pull it back. Now gives to Morgan Myers. Layup is no good. Rebound is still loose, controlled by Kesley Stevenson. Back to Mariah Martin. She fakes left, goes right. Mariah Martin now pulls it back out. 1:48 remaining. Trailblazers down by 7. They give to Kesley Stevenson. Now to Allie Franks. Back to Stevenson. Over to Morgan Myers. Now back to Stevenson. She tries to fake a three. Can't get it off. Ball nearly stolen away by Herrera. 9 to shoot for the Trailblazers. Morgan Myers will try a three. No good. Might have been tipped. Airballed it. And the Skyhawks control.
And that was good defense from the Skyhawks, forcing the Trailblazers with time against them to take an entire shot clock possession.
Clearly, Trailblazers were trying to get a three on that possession, but Good defense, as you mentioned, from Fort Lewis prevented that one, and now a foul on the other end. Going to be on number 21. That's Morgan Myers. That's her first, just the second team foul in the fourth. Trailblazers down by 7. Thought for a minute there if they could have got a bucket on that last possession and cut it to 5, maybe the momentum could carry them in the last minute. Got to get a stop here defensively. 30 seconds, a fresh 30 on the shot clock for Fort Lewis following the foul. Inbounds pass goes to Valencia. The Trailblazers foul. Got to get into the penalty at this point. Not being in the penalty is obviously good, for most of the game, except when you're in this situation where you need to foul and put them on the free throw line. Now you got to take a few extra seconds and get into the penalty in order to do that, and they are doing just that. Foul is called. And now they'll foul on the ensuing inbound possession, Aubrey Fortner. That's the fourth team foul, so one more still to go. That one goes on Allie Franks, her third.
And a good job to not let time tick off. They did a good job following the ball movement, getting those fouls quickly.
Oh, an inbounds pass is nearly stolen, and we got a whistle, and that's going to be called on the Skyhawks. A great defensive possession on the inbounds pass there. Yaki called for the foul. That's just her second, but the Trailblazers regained possession with 1:10 to go. Ryan Martin, got to go quick if you're the Trailblazers. She dribbles right to left, gives to Kesley Stevenson. Kesley will start to penetrate, reach by Candelaria, and she'll be called for the foul. Candelaria tried to take that one away from Kesley Stevenson on the dribble penetration, but she'll be whistled for her second foul, fourth team foul for Fort Lewis. Ryan Martin, she'll trigger the inbounds, trying to find Allie Franks off a cut, can't do it. Tries to inbound it now, and ball is kicked. And we'll try it again. Ryan Martin looking for a cutter. Tries to find Franks, now gets it to her. Franks looks to penetrate, gets into the key, goes left, fakes left, goes right, and lays it up and in, and Trailblazers call a timeout immediately. Allie Franks up to 15 points, and the Trailblazers are within 5. 56 seconds remaining, and we got a 30-second timeout. As you see, a good job. Franks fakes left and goes right, an off-balance floating jumper there. She lays it up and in, but just 56 seconds remaining for the Trailblazers. What do they got to do in this last minute to try to get back into the game?
Well, you'll see them go to this press again. They've been really handsy, able to get some turnovers, capitalize with some steals. They've got to get a stop. You'll probably see them quickly foul as well, put them on the free throw line, and get the possessions. Again, these turnovers that they've had in this game has limited their possessions, so now they're trying to play catch-up.
Obviously, a few players you'd like to foul if you're the Trailblazers. Aubrey Fortner would be one of them. Just a 56% free throw shooter. Team and brings the Trailblazers within 3.
Yeah, and here, I don't think you actually need the 3. They haven't been shooting behind the arc well. They've been great in penetration, able to get those points in the paint. You've still got time. You go for that easy 2 bucket.
Good possession there for the Trailblazers. Referees are reviewing something. Don't know what they're reviewing. Maybe time on the clock, perhaps. I'm wondering if maybe Coach Gustin was trying to call a timeout, and after he'd called a timeout, maybe some time ran off the clock after he'd trying to signal for a timeout. Maybe that's what they're looking at. Love to know that is what they're looking at. So going to add maybe some time back on. 34.8, they say. So they are going to give the Trailblazers a few more seconds. Now, here's the situation. Obviously, you need to get the ball back with 34.8 seconds. Even if you get a stop on the defensive end, you're maybe looking at 6 or 7 seconds perhaps, and that's if you get the offensive rebound. You do have a timeout, and you can advance the ball to half court, but do you foul here, or you just play the possession out and try to hope you get the ball back with enough time to make a three-pointer to try to tie it?
Well, you hope for that press. I mean, it worked out perfectly for them in the last possession. They haven't done well breaking the press. I think at some point, if they get through, you do want to commit the foul because the 3-ball hasn't been falling for them. They need time, I think. And
they do elect to foul. Couldn't get the steal on the inbounds pass, and London Paliga commits the foul against Hannah Valencia, a 72% free throw shooter. Not the best person to foul. She's, in fact, one of the top free throw shooters on the team, and she'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Trailblazers now into the bonus. Valencia's first free throw is no good off the back of the iron. Never know.
That's the Skyhawks' first miss from the free throw line.
First miss tonight from the free throw line after not shooting one in the second or third quarters. Valencia's second one is good. Crucial free throw by Hannah Valencia. And Allie Franks inbounds it to Mariah Martin. Got to go quickly for the Trailblazers. Mariah Martin fakes left, goes right, tries to penetrate. Picks up her dribble. London Pavlikin penetrates. She'll give it to Kesley Stevenson. She'll try a three. No good off the front of the iron. And Allie Franks tried to grab the offensive rebound but commits the foul. Kesley Stevenson got a good look on the offensive end. A deep three, but certainly one she's capable of knocking down, and just came up a little short on that one.
And luckily, Franks was able to get a foul quickly there, so not much time again off the clock.
Still a two-possession game. You do have 2 timeouts if you're the Trailblazers. And you're putting Herrera on the line, a 63% free throw shooter. So at worst, it's going to be a 2-possession game, and she misses the front end of the free throws.
You do have 3 players in the backcourt for the Skyhawks ready to go on defense.
Got to go quickly. Don't necessarily need a 3, but you do need to get a bucket for the if you're the Trailblazers. And J.D. Gustin will call a timeout, and he will advance the ball. We'll keep it right here, 62-57. Trailblazers trail, 18 seconds remaining. They will have the ball at half court after they advance it. And you got to get something here. Obviously, you'd like to get a 3, but you got to get points here. If you go for the 3 and you make it, you're down by 2. You got to foul. Hopefully, they miss at least 1. At this point, I think you got to go for the 3. I looked for Kesley Stevenson or Allie Franks on the offensive end. Some sort of action, maybe a screen or a pin down to try to get one of them an open look.
Yeah, I agree. The 3 is kind of your must at this point. It's with time against you, and you're down 5.
So the Trailblazers in need of a miracle if they're going to win this one at home against the 4-9 Fort Lewis Skyhawks. Kesley Stevenson will inbound. She tries to find Franks, and that one just a botched play. The inbounds pass went right through Allie Franks' hands, not what the Trailblazers had ordered up. Trying to find Franks in the left corner, but just, I don't know if it was an errant pass or just Franks missed it, but the Trailblazers turn it over and immediately foul on the other possession.
And unfortunately, again, another turnover. Turnovers really have hurt them, especially in a game that's become this close.
Anna Valencia, she'll go back to the free throw line where she just made one, and she'll make the first. She's got just a pair of points, 2 free throws on the game. Her second one is up and rattles in. And the Trailblazers now down by 7, 15 seconds remaining. Morgan Myers on the other end, comes off a screen. Excuse me, that's Mariah Martin. She'll try a 3. She'll hit it. Mariah Martin hits a 3. Trailblazers down 4. They'll foul Fortner. 6.6 remaining. Trailblazers now down 4. Aubrey Fortner, she is the one you'd want to foul. Just a 56% free throw shooter. But even if she misses 2, you still got to make 2 possessions. It's still a 2-possession game, barring a foul on a made 3 or something like that. With 6 seconds remaining and just 1 timeout, not a whole lot of time as Fortner makes the first one.
And just goes back to the couple possessions ago, that turnover when you had advanced the ball, a good look when you're this close.
Aubrey Fortner makes both. And Mariah Martin, she brings it in the front court. Last second shot for 3, no good, off the front of the iron. And that'll do it. The Trailblazers fall in this one 66-60 against the 8-11 Fort Lewis Skyhawks. Fort Lewis now moves to 9-11 and 5-9 in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Trailblazers will fall 10-8 and 6-8 in the RMAC Conference play. That'll do it for this one. As a reminder, the men's game we've got in just about a half an hour. They'll take on Fort Lewis as well. Should be a good matchup. We'll love to see you back for the men's game. We'll be back in about 60 seconds. We'll wrap up this game and then bring in the men's game in a 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff, St. George Ford Lincoln.
Burns Arena, Trailblazers
to Dixie State
fall to this one 66-60 against Fort Lewis. The Skyhawks come into Burns Arena and still one away from the Dixie State Trailblazers. This is the Camping World post-game show. We'll get a quick post-game show for you and then get you ready for the men's game. Recap this one. I mean, obviously Trailblazers had a tough first half, turned the ball over a dozen times, and really didn't get any much better from there. They did show a little bit of energy there late in the fourth quarter and eventually got a 13-point lead down to as low as 3, but couldn't get over the hump, as it were, and they lose this one 66-60.
Yeah, and really, I think this one goes back to the 10-0 start for the Skyhawks. They started out strong, and Dixie State just couldn't recover and catch up.
You know, obviously, when a 4-9 team comes into town, you know, a team with a losing record like that, maybe you lose a little bit of focus, thinking that, you know, they might not give you as much of a game. But obviously, Fort Lewis, a very capable team, and they showed it here tonight. And I think, like you mentioned, they came out on that 10-0 run and really, you know, kind of punched the Trailblazers in the face, and I don't think the Trailblazers were really ready for it and really were never able to recover. I think offensively they struggled early on, getting their shot to go. Obviously that had a lot to do with the turnovers and the lack of offensive possessions, not really being able to get into a rhythm, you know, and never was able to get back over the hump. As far as some post-game stats go, Mariah Martin led the Trailblazers in scoring 16 points for the sophomore guard, 15 points for Allie Franks, and 10 points from London Pavlica off the bench. She did a really good job in the first half and really throughout the game to bring energy to the Trailblazers. 10 points off the bench for her, a couple of steals as well. Morgan Myers had 9 points. She had 5 steals. She did a very good job defensively as well. Lisa Van Kampen had 5 points. Cassie Stevenson had 3, and Rochelle Blazard had 1 bucket for the Skyhawks. This one was really led by Sydney Candelaria, she was tremendous, especially down the stretch. Had a 1.7 straight baskets, really in a point of the game where it could have gone either way. The momentum was starting to shift for the Trailblazers, but she, on 3 consecutive possessions, had a layup, a 3-pointer, and then another a 15-foot jumper, and had a 7-0 run just by herself to really kind of negate any sort of momentum the Trailblazers had garnered in that stretch of time. She had 20 points to lead all scorers, 8 rebounds as well, 4 steals, just really fill up the box score. She was the biggest reason the Fort Lewis Skyhawks won this one.
I was going to say, not only on the offensive end, which she was strong, great 20 points also, but also on the defensive end. You say that's a game high, 8 rebounds, and that's where the Trailblazers were struggling, just couldn't get any stops, and she was a big part of that.
Trailblazers outshot the Skyhawks 47% to 44% for the game, but obviously the Skyhawks had many more possessions and got to the free throw line more, 13 of 16 from the free throw line. That was the key down the stretch. The Trailblazers had gotten it within 3, and they had to resort to fouling, and the Fort Lewis did a good job of making free throws down the stretch, and a lot of times that's how you win ball games, is making free throws down the stretch, and they did just that. Let's award, Kylie, I'm going to leave this up to you. Let's award a campus dining player of the game. Let's get someone from Dixie State. Who are you going to give that one out to tonight?
Definitely Mariah Martin. You know, she was strong in both the first and second half, a team high 16 points, 6 for 10 from the field, and she just never gave up on both ends of the court. You saw a late 3-pointer there at the end, and really she was very aggressive. Also had 3 rebounds and 4 assists.
There it is, your campus dining player of the game. As far as the Jimmy John's play of the game, I think you could give it to just about any of London Pavlica's plays. She had a few just nifty layups there in the second half, and then obviously played very, very well defensively. But that'll do it from this one. 66-60 final. Trailblazers lose this one to the Fort Lewis Skyhawks. We've got the men's game for you. A reminder, in about 15 minutes. We'll see you back then from this one. For Kylie Young, I'm Drayson Ball. We'll see you in just a minute.